Sanvarani. My name is Bongela Holly, the trans queen, and as promised, I did say that you and I are going to be having a sit down to talk about the LGBTIQA plus community, what it means, and what each letter entails. Today, it's that educational video. If you remember very well, I did mention that October is National Pride Month in South Africa, and since we're celebrating that, I am now giving few information now, not saying more because I haven't done a lot of videos. But if you remember very well, there's a video I did talking about the transgender and the transsexual members of the community and what differentiates one from the other. So today I am going to talk in detail about the LGBTI at large, and I'm going to tell you what each letter entails. But I have jotted everything down because I do not want to do any mistakes. Therefore, we are going to be reading out. Now, the first letter of the LGBTI stands for lesbian. This is where two females are in a relationship together. They are referred to as lesbians. Two females in a relationship together. And then gays, it's typically two males in a relationship together. Also, there's lesbians that could be identified as gays because now, when you say someone is gay, you could either mean a female or a male person. They're gay. But in a much broader detail, then a lesbian is identified based on their gender, and then gay is also identified based on their gender. Hence, there'll be a lesbian lady and a gay man. Does make sense? And then B is for bisexual. Bisexual could either be a man or a woman interested in both genders. So you are a man, you are in a relationship with a woman, and you are in a relationship with a man at the same time. So you are doing both. You are a girl, you are in a relationship with another girl, and another and a guy on the side. This does not make you either gay or lesbian, but it puts you in between. So you are bisexual, you are dating both genders in that regard. The T of the LGBTI stands for transgender or transsexual members of the community. I did talk about transgender and transsexual on the other video, and I broke into detail what it entails. But a transgender person is a person who does not conform to the the gender that was assigned to them at birth. They identify as. Does make sense? So if I'm born as male and I identify myself as female, so I am transgender. I'm a transgender woman. So a girl rather, who was born and assigned female or identifies as female on birth, now as far as their sexuality is concerned, they identify as a man, so they would like to identify as a transgender man. So we refer to them as a transgender man. Does make sense? And then when you're transsexual, this is when now you have done the surgery of gender reassignment. If you are born a man and you identify as a transgender, you go and do your gender reassignment. So you go through the surgery, they remove the this and they replace you with the that. That is my maid, and now you are now a transsexual because you have undergone a surgery to transition fully into what you want to be. Next is the Q. The Q now, this is tricky. Q stands for queer. Queer written or spelled out as Queer. This is used for a specific identity, but queer means questioning. Queer is short for questioning. This is where rather a person has not identified as a specific sexuality as yet. Does make sense? So those who are cisgender, gender fluid, they are identified as queer. In this case, you are not lesbian, you are not gay, you're not bisexual, you're not transgender, you are just there floating. So we identify you as questioning. You have not gotten to a point where you identify specifically as a specific sexuality, and therefore you are now referred to as queer because you're still in your questioning phase. You have not quite gotten yourself as yet. Does make sense? Most people used to say no, queer is when straight guys are doing this together. No, it's nothing like that. It's nothing like that. Queer is when you are still trying to, either male or female, you're still trying to find your feet in terms of how do you identify, or which sexuality you're comfortable with the most. Are you lesbian? Are you gay or bisexual? Or you are either, but you want to be transgender. So because you have not found yourself in these four other aspects of the sexuality, then you are identified, or yes, not described, identified. You are identified as a queer person because you're still finding your feet in your sexuality. The I stands for intersex. Now, intersex is sexual activeness which does not conform to binary definitions of male or female bodies. It's equivalent to bisexual, but with bisexual they know they are attracted to this person romantically, but with intersex, it has got nothing to do with being in a relationship with either a man or a woman. Whatever turns you on between the male and female bodies, whatever turns you on, you get sex, you have sex with that person, either male or female. But whatever at the time, whoever at the time turns you on, ziyakhala. And then there's asexual. This is the A of the LGBTIQA plus community. So the A of the community of the letters stands for asexual. Asexual is people with little to no sexual attraction but are romantically attracted. Now, this is when you are in a relationship with somebody, you are here for all the dates, all the gifts, gift exchange, you understand? And the PDA, public display of affection, the cuddles, but there is no sex at all. There is no sex at all. I'm against sex. I'm asexual. Others would say anti-sexual, but it's actually asexual, where there is no sex at all. It's a romantic relationship, but not sexual. So it can be a man and a woman in a relationship together, but they are both asexual. I hope that makes sense. Now, the plus of the community, you remember it's the LGBTIQA, and then there's a plus. Now, the plus of the community is the plus gender, the gender identities and sexual orientations that are different to those already mentioned above. For example, pansexual, who fall in love with just about anything they find attractive. So the plus, we know there's pansexual people in the LGBTI, there's pansexual people, but they don't identify as bisexual. If they like a certain flower, they're attracted to that flower. If they like a certain thing, an item, they attracted to that item, then they'll, you know, be in love with that item until they fall out of love. Have you, for example, typically when you've newly downloaded a song and then you listen to it, it's the only thing you listen to for the next 7 days. So you are into that song for this 7 days, but as soon as that is done, you move. You are into a specific makeup brush, you are into a specific flower or a tree, or doesn't make sense. So you are not, your sexuality is not based on humans, but it is also on nature, on items. I'm not sure if that is making any sense, but that is exactly what it is. When they say someone is pansexual, they can just be in love with a specific car. When they see that car, they go crazy because it doesn't make sense. Yes, so that is all from me to you regarding the LGBTIQA plus community today. And until we talk again on the next video, have a great day.